What's the poll question we're thinking about going with today?
We got a few possibilities. One is, should, or you might say, will Kyler Murray's injury affect Lamar Jackson's contract status? Yes or no?
Okay. It shouldn't, but I think I've been on record for the last 2 years. Something is up there with the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. Now, you can say, well, he doesn't have an agent. It's his mom. What was he waiting for? Once Deshaun Watson signed his deal, that's when I thought, if I'm Lamar Jackson, I say, I want that deal. That's what I want. But this is it. I think the Ravens will franchise him. I would, because, he was an MVP a couple of years ago. Can he stay healthy? How long do those quarterbacks last? 8 years? 9 years? Look at Cam Newton. Cam's still younger than, I think, 4 starters in the NFL. But, if you're going to pass on $200 million, you're Lamar Jackson, I don't know if I'm the Ravens, I don't know if I go, you know what? You didn't want $200 million, we're going to give you $230 million. I just don't see it happening. But I don't know if they're related. Even though they're similar quarterbacks, I don't know if they're related. But I've felt, though, for the last 2 years, it didn't feel like the Ravens were all in or something was not synced up there. Yeah, Paulie.
Lamar Jackson this year, his stats are similar to last year. Last year was his worst season, 16 touchdowns, 13 picks. This year, 17 touchdowns, 7 picks. Of course, he's running the ball well. Do you think that the Ravens are going to be extra cautious when they see what happened with Kyler Murray's deal or Russell Wilson's deal? And say, because once you lock this down, that's a minimum 4-year commitment for Lamar Jackson. And running quarterbacks going into the 30s, I don't know if that's what people sign up for.
Yeah, I don't want to sign up long term for that. I just don't. Even Kyler, and you went early on that contract for him. I understand you go early for Mahomes and Josh Allen. Kyler Murray hadn't proved anything to me. Lamar Jackson has, but he still makes me nervous. I mean, Cam Newton is 32 years of age. He's not in football any longer. That style does take its toll on you, but I don't put in Russell Wilson's contract into this equation. I mean, that was just they got, give credit to Seattle. They made a great deal. And did you see where we might have some fiscal sanity with a quarterback and his agent, with Geno Smith? Because if I'm Seattle, I say to Geno, we're going to give you $25 million a year. We're going to give you a 2-year deal, 25. I mean, let's say they give him 30. I don't know. But I saw where the number was a little over $20 million. And that we're going to give this to you, reward you, but we're going to take a quarterback with that high draft pick that we're getting. And I've said all along that if you get quarterbacks who understand, or their agents go, here's a soft landing for both, and my guy can stay as the starting quarterback there. That, to me, makes the most sense. Instead of if Geno Smith goes, hey, look at the year I put in, I want $40 million. Well, I'm not paying you $40 million. But if I pay you $25 and I give you $50 million guaranteed contract, 2 years, you signing up for that? I hope he does. Yeah, Paul.
You can find articles in August where Seattle's being questioned. What are they doing as a franchise? What's Pete Carroll doing? You go into the season with Geno Smith and Drew Lock at quarterback. No one bought into either of these two guys. Now they're in a position where Geno Smith may be the answer-ish,
Yeah.
And they can get him at a bargain. Or right now they have Denver's pick of the draft, which is the number 2 pick of the draft. Yeah. At worst, right now they would have the second quarterback off the board.
Do you want to have a high draft pick this year for this year's quarterbacks or next year's quarterbacks?
It's always next year.
It always is next year.
That's the McLovin thing.
Yeah, it's like, oh, man, we love the quarterbacks that are available next year, not the ones this year.